Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comic Book Burrito Extra Beef. We're a superhero podcast. We don't wear hockey pads. My name's Darian,
I'm Landon.
and today we have a special one for you. We're not going to be talking about Marvel and DC and games, stuff that you can name and that we have, but we're going to be talking about one singular topic, and that is the Snyder Cut.
Oh boy.
The infamous director's cut of the 2017 Justice League film that has went through numerous issues and just a whole lot, and we're gonna get into that. Me and Landon both watched the movie again, all 4 hours of it.
Yes.
And we have come prepared. So how have you been, Landon?
I've been okay. Hey, just after seeing this,
Yeah. I understand.
How are you?
Well, I'm a little bit better, I guess, than you are, because I watched an hour and then I'd take a break for a little bit, watch another hour, just so I didn't get bored watching a 4-hour movie.
I watched all this before I went on a mountain hike, so I'm exhausted.
Well, for the people that are listening that have no idea what the Snyder Cut is, well, how to explain it? I mean, like I said, it's the director's cut of the 2017 Justice League film, but it's also a lot. It symbolizes a lot more to do with Warner Brothers and kind of sticking it to the man, if you know what I mean.
I guess just the simple. You basically gave the most simple explanation for it. It's the director's cut of Justice League, but as we'll explain today, it just goes way it goes just deep into how in the world this movie was made. Exactly.
And I think we can start now. We're going to go into the history of the Snyder Cut. We've done extensive, well, at least I have. I don't know about you, Lyndon. I've done extensive research.
I've done some research.
Okay, good. And but by any chance, if we have gotten anything wrong, please let us know, and so we can correct for further talk eventually. All right. So, there's no way to sugarcoat this. The Justice League film has had a very complicated production.
Yes.
Very. For example, the script and photography underwent major changes before and during production. And obviously there was a change in directors. But this, I'm going to use some big words here because I thought it'd make me sound smart. This inherently resulted in the theatrical release of a version that was reported to be very different from how the film had been conceived of during pre-production and principal photography. The trailers, this is kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but it's not too bad. The trailers that were released for the movie back in 2017 were all footage from Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, but we know sorry, I was saying that was revealed at Comic-Con, right?
I think so. Yes.
I believe so. Okay.
And as we know, the movie that came after those trailers was almost a completely different movie. Well, after watching that movie today and then seeing it previously when it came out, and thinking back onto the original 2017 Justice League, the Snyder Cut is massively better than the old one.
I don't think no one can deny that.
Definitely not. But the old one, it obviously had so many flaws.
Yeah, it's weird. I have a weird relationship with that movie because the first time I saw it, I was all like, "This is," I actually really enjoyed it.
Me too.
Second time I saw it, I couldn't finish it.
I saw it.
It's just a mess. Oh, you saw it in theaters? Okay.
And I thought it was good because normally when I watch a movie in theaters, I always think it's good because I just like theaters watching movies. But this, well, you say what you're saying.
I was saying I saw it back when it came out on like Blu-ray or whatever, and I just bought it. I'm like, okay, this should be, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, it's Justice League, you know, because I love Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yes.
And everything. And I was like, they saw the mistakes with Batman versus Superman. They're gonna make it better. You know.
Yeah.
So first time I saw it, I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. And I rewatched it again, tried to show a friend. I was all like, you mind if we just not finish this? I couldn't finish it.
I'm gonna get into more of this later, but I mean, I didn't hate Batman versus Superman. I can rewatch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can rewatch Batman vs Superman, but I can't rewatch Josh Whedon's Justice League. I can't do it. Well, Josh Whedon, Zack Snyder's Frankenstein.
The Justice League.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard people what we have just been saying about how Justice League, the production was complicated and there were many problems. But let's go to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Man of Steel, 2013. Right? Is that the year that it came out? I gotta make sure I got
2013.
Okay. Had to be sure. So, I'm gonna say that Zack Snyder's DC movie career started with Man of Steel, even though we know it was actually Watchmen. But for this specific story, it's gonna be Man of Steel. So he started his DC run with Man of Steel in 2013, which outlined the basis of the DCEU, which centered.
Well, I was just gonna say, I don't even think it was originally even meant to be like what do you call it? Like kind of like a cinematic universe, right? At the time, it was just gonna be just movie. It was gonna be like a standalone thing, right?
Nope.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
It outlined the basis of the DCU, which centered with the original plan was to center on a 5-film arc, including Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and a Justice League trilogy. According to Screen Rant, the structure of the franchise would have been in, quote, inverse of the MCU. Instead of solo films culminating in a crossover Avengers-like films, DC's take would have been primarily crossover films with occasional solo films on the side set at different points in time. That was the plan.
Okay.
And some of it did happen, like with Wonder Woman 1984 and the first Wonder Woman. It's set at 2 very different points in time and still kind of a spin-off of Justice League, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of confusing. And I think part of that, that is in part to what happened with Justice League and Batman versus Superman and things that have to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where was I? So, I mean, Man of Steel was received genuinely well with only maybe like a small amount of criticisms. But Batman versus Superman, on the other hand, was not received so well. As we know, a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
They claimed that the movie had a dark and gritty tone, which it did. And to some, that was too much for a superhero movie.
Oh my god. I mean, I would say if you watch the original cut of that movie, it's not that good, but I would recommend watching the ultimate cut.
The ultimate cut is very good, and I feel like Zack Snyder's Justice League connects better to the ultimate cut than it does.
Probably. I mean, because everyone in the editors room cut what was in the film, so
yeah.
I mean, maybe just I don't know. They just cut that explained more stuff, and if you watch the ultimate cut, it makes Zack Snyder's Justice League more tolerable to watch.
Yeah, and I remember Ben Affleck saying that Justice League, the 2017 film, the Batman in that was like almost a completely different Batman than what was in Batman v Superman. The Batman v Superman was like all mean and tough and all this stuff.
Hardcore.
Yeah. But switch over to Justice League 2017, and he was more of like you picking a Batman comic off the shelf and opening it, and it's that Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Which to some would be good, and to me, I don't mind that. But I would like a balanced mix between the dark and gritty and the comic book like Batman. And that sounds like a good Batman to me.
Yeah. I know I'm nothing wrong with like certain takes on Batman. I would just say just stick with the character. Or I mean obviously you want to go by what the comics do first, but if you're going to change it up a bit, stick with what you did in the previous film, Definitely.
And speaking of sticking with what people did in previous films, let's see. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't have done that segue because that's here in a second, but not immediately. So, with Batman v Superman, the movie earned a 4.94 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes, which, I mean, they're sort of not really reliable, but it's still that's the audience reaction. 4.94 out of 10, so that's not even a half.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, that movie just almost basically Man of Steel started the story, but Batman v Superman, the sequel to it, introducing Batman, really wasn't doing too well, and that is the basis for why Justice League was changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll get into that here just right now.
Okay.
The reaction to the Rotten Tomatoes score and the audience reaction in general from Zack and Warner Brothers was to reevaluate upcoming films, particularly Suicide Squad, which I didn't know, you'll find out in a second, which was obviously not made by Zack Snyder, and had also just finished pre-production, as well as Justice League, which was just about to start filming. All of the films were meant to become more hopeful, according to Zack Snyder, as they all were releasing and going on. But the Batman vs. Superman criticism caused them to rewrite Justice League to be even more hopeful and comedic, which wasn't what Zack wanted. And hold on, I'm switching. Okay, but during all of this, plans for a solo Batman movie called The Batman was in development, set to star Ben Affleck, which we know now that movie is now starring Robert Pattinson, and it comes out next year.
Yes, and it's not even being produced by Ben Affleck or anything.
But they did set up the Batman in Zack Snyder's Justice League at the end of it, with the whole Lex Luthor and Deathstroke.
Yes,
thing.
They did.
Which, I mean, is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting part about it. So you remember how Suicide Squad wasn't necessarily completely connected to everything? It mentioned Superman being dead, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, originally, the Suicide Squad was meant to star Steppenwolf and his parademons as the villains controlling Enchantress and the Mother Boxes. And controlling Enchantress with the Mother Boxes, sorry.
Okay.
And Darkseid was obviously going to be the main Justice League villain. But because of the rewrites that they did to Justice League, Steppenwolf was cut completely from Suicide Squad and was replaced by Enchantress's brother, who I think his name was Incubus.
I believe you're right.
And this resulted in months of a delay for Justice League, but eventually Zack had most of the film completed. The mostly finished version, by the way, is obviously what we call the Snyder Cut.
Mm-hmm.
But Warner Brothers saw the cut and noted it was lighter than Batman vs. Superman, but it didn't have enough humor, which I somewhat agree with, sort of. But I think he went in there and put in a little bit more humor whenever Zack Snyder decided to release his cut.
Yeah.
Like Flash and Aquaman are really the only funny parts of the movie.
Yeah, and even then, some of the jokes Flash does are more of They're not really funny.
No.
The same way like a Marvel movie would be funny.
Yeah, he's just kind of like awkward comedy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Oh, we'll get into that later, but
yeah. So, like I said, they didn't have enough humor. Warner Brothers still wasn't happy with this cut that he had been working on for a very long time at this point. But then, a tragedy struck. Zack's 20-year-old daughter, Autumn, committed suicide before the movie was released. And this is the reason Snyder dropped out of the movie completely. He worked on it for months after his daughter's death to cope, but then he finally decided to drop out, with the movie being mostly finished already. And this is when we move on to the Joss Whedon part of this story. But before that, I want to talk a little bit about that whole ordeal. Warner Brothers really not liking Zack Snyder's take on the movie. And they want like, oh, it needs more humor and it's too dark. It needs to be like this, blah, blah, blah. Except the two previous movies were dark and had a little bit of humor, but
yeah.
I think it comes, Warner Brothers thinks they know. I don't want to say this with like big mean, but I mean, it's Warner Brothers. They don't care.
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers. Yeah.
So,
they ain't listening.
yeah. I mean, we say that, and we're going to get a call from Batman tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I don't think they obviously don't listen to their fans. If they did, I mean, we would be having like a DC MCU deal going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that would be great. But, I mean, obviously, they don't.
I mean, I said it in our last episode of Comic Book Burrito as we're recording this. I mean, they're so close to 10. I mean, they're like 2 years away from 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just a lot of management there has just been insane. I don't even know what's going on over there at Warner Brothers, and it's really crazy. But it gets like where the movies have been released is okay. So it's Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman,
yep,
Suicide Squad, Joss Whedon's Justice League,
yeah,
Birds of Prey,
yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just expressing disgust for that movie. I don't like it.
Okay, Shazam,
yeah,
Aquaman, Wonder Woman,
and Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, and Wonder Woman 84. Okay, so that is 1, 2. That is 9 films. 9 films. So, and you think, I don't know. It's actually a lot more than I thought there would be.
Yeah, but it's still most of them are movies that we didn't want. Like,
yeah, I mean, I
didn't want a second Wonder Woman. That was the way it was. I didn't like the second Wonder Woman.
Yeah, not many people did.
And I also didn't like Birds of Prey or Shazam, to be honest.
I never watched Birds of Prey.
I did. I only watched it because of Ewan McGregor.
I watched Shazam. Did you not like Shazam?
No, I didn't.
Oh, really? Okay.
I like the actor that plays Shazam. I think he's funny, but
yeah,
it just didn't really set with me. And I hope Black Adam, if it ties into Shazam, maybe it'll get me to watch it again.
Yeah. Okay. And I saw Suicide Squad though, and I didn't like that. I didn't like Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that was like everyone was so obsessed with Harley Quinn after that movie, and I was just sitting there like she wasn't even that good of a part in the movie to me. Yeah. Like everyone talks about how she's such a good Harley Quinn, but in my opinion, I don't really think she's that great of a Harley Quinn. I mean, like that's kind of like a controversial thing for you to say, I guess, but
yeah,
it just, I don't know, it really set with me.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's great. I just wish she was given better stuff to do.
Yeah, I'd probably like her if that was the case. If we were given better, better lines and better, just dialogue in general.
Yeah. But anyways, let's continue.
Yep, let's move on to the Joss section. This is where all the drama comes in. So after disapproving of the Snyder Cut, Warner Bros. Hired filmmaker Joss Whedon to take over rewriting the scripts and helping with reshoots. But it was rumored that Warner Brothers hired Joss behind Zack's back months before.
Did they hire him like back before his daughter passed away?
That's what the rumor was, yeah.
Oh, before. Okay, I was saying if it was like right after, I'm like, dang.
It's still pretty awful. Zack's still working on this movie, putting his heart and soul into this movie. And
it was great to replace him. Yeah, either way.
They hired Joss behind Zack's back. Zack's still working on it. They hired Joss to work on it at the same time.
That's some like Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire stuff right there.
Yeah.
maybe we'll do an episode of that one day, which I would love to do.
It'd be fun. I think I remember reading that there were also rumors that Zack was going to get fired months before his daughter died as well.
Oh.
But because they didn't like his version of Justice League and that it was, well, I'll get into it in a minute, but they said it was, quote, unwatchable.
Unwatchable. Wow. You always hear that with like screen tests and stuff, because they had one for the Batman and they said it was like unwatchable as well. So, okay, possibly good.
Warner Brothers for you. That's their favorite word.
I guess Warner Bros. Isn't like masterpieces, but because that Batman, that looks good.
Where was I?
Okay, so they said it was unwatchable.
Yep. Joss officially took over as director after Autumn Snyder's death. Then Warner CEO Kevin, forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Sugihara, mandated that Justice League should not exceed 2 hours, hence cutting over half of Zack's vision only a few months after his departure. So the 4-hour movie that we watched was originally a 2-hour movie like in 2017.
Yes.
But we know from Zack Snyder's Justice League, all of the stuff that was in that, it's like many, many extended scenes. Let's see, for example, the scene where they revived Superman. That was a lot longer than it was in the original. I know there's more, but I can't recall them off the top of my head. But I mean, that's why it's an extra 2 hours, because obviously there's extended stuff. But let's see. During the time that they were doing reshoots with Joss in the director's chair, many things happened during this. The composer was changed. It was Junkie XL, but then it was changed to Danny Elfman last minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and half of the movie was reshot to fit Warner Bros. Ideas and Joss's ideas. And this conflicted with the actor's schedule as well, doing other movies, and they still had to meet that November release date.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I can imagine like the stress and pressure of like everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I mean, I hate the way it turned out of them having to do all that.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even like include like them having to like reshoot a lot of scenes as well. So, I mean,
also for the people that are listening, if you don't know who Joss Whedon is, he is the mind behind Avengers: Age of Ultron. And let's see, he did some Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I think, and what is it? Stargate? But no, I don't know. He did some other stuff too, but he's a real piece of work, and we'll find that out here in a second.
Oh yeah, we will.
All right. Joss himself was causing drama during reshoots. So after his admitted dislike of Zack and his vision, he blatantly said he disliked Zack Snyder and his vision of the movie.
Dang.
And while this dude's daughter was, he was mourning the death of his daughter. And this guy's over here stealing his job and, just bad mouthing.
I wouldn't even say. I'll be honest. I wouldn't say he was stealing it because WB just hired him.
Well,
but I mean, him coming out and saying that ain't cool. That's for sure.
Still, but let's see. Joss was caught saying some pretty awful things. First, he was inherently racist toward Ray Fisher, which.
Yeah, I've seen Ray Fisher's Twitter. Yeah, he's very open about that.
And Ray says he was, quote, gross and abusive and unprofessional and completely unacceptable. That was Ray's quote.
Yeah.
Because of these accusations, Warner Brothers started looking into it, and there was a legal case made. But Warner Brothers decided Fisher was going to be removed from the cast of the Flash film. Which
is like backwards as all can get at.
Yeah. Like, that's pretty crazy. So I guess they were developing all these movies.
He's back in it now, right? Or no?
No.
Oh, no, he's still not. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. They claimed that Joss Whedon was creating a very toxic work environment. And another recent allegation, this is more recent, by okay, I never know how to say her name. It's Gal Gadot, right?
Yeah, Gal Gadot.
Okay.
It's either Gadot or Gadot. I think you say either way.
Right. By Gal Gadot was that Josh, quote, threatened my career and said if I do something, he would make my career miserable.
God.
He also committed tried to, whenever he was originally supposed to pen the script or help do it, Wonder Woman, the movie, and he kept trying to input very sexual things into the movie.
Oh, really? And like Wonder Woman? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers turned him down doing it. And see, like, there was a little bit of that already put into the Justice League 2017, like that scene, which didn't make it into Zack Snyder's, where Flash like falls down on top of Wonder Woman or whatever, and it was like really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was kind of
it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know? It's only been Gal Gadot and what's his name?
Ray Fisher.
Yeah, Ray Fisher. Those are the only two who have come out and said anything, right?
Yeah, and all the actors have stood behind them and their allegations.
Okay.
Accusations. I didn't get any other details about any other kind of stuff that went on with that. But eventually, after all was finished, the Justice League was released to the public, and it was received pretty negatively, and even Warner Brothers claimed it was, quote, very awkward.
I bet
even
so.
Warner Brothers, who didn't even like the original one, didn't even like the new one. Which kind of says something. They don't know what they want.
I mean, no, it's like too. They said it was like too. It needs to be more lighthearted. They do it or whatever, and then it's all like,
yeah,
kind of like, oh well, we don't like that. I'm like, well, what do you want? You know?
Yeah.
They really just throwing whatever in the air and just see what sticks, and they'll be like, oh yeah, we knew we wanted that all along. It's like, no, no, you didn't.
Yeah. See, and like another problem was too the marketing for the movie. All the posters, unite the seven, unite the seven, unite the seven, all the stuff. There were only 6.
Yeah, well, they can't. Wait, is there only? Hold on.
There were only in the original one. There were only 6.
Wait, is it really? Hold on. Well, who's missing then?
I'm pretty sure it would have been Martian Manhunter, because he was in the Zack Snyder Justice League.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. I thought like they're saying you're not 7, but I thought you were talking about like, posters. They're not showing like Superman in them.
No.
I'm like, no, there is 7. What are you talking about? But no,
there's 6.
Yeah, there is
and
6.
That's also that gave up some people's hope in the movie. They're like, well, there's not a 7th person, so what is this?
Where's the 7?
Right?
Yeah.
And it was just a bad rap. People were like, this movie is awful. Warner Bros. Should be ashamed of themselves was one of the reviews I saw. And just like all of this backlash, which resulted in the cancellation of the rest of the series of movies. The Justice League movies were the sequel that was planned to come out in 2019, and this year would have been the third one, were completely scrapped.
And we've only had one Justice League movie and one true Justice League movie, or one what it was supposed to be.
Yeah. So jump to 2020. Talks were barreling through social media after all of the Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder drama. It was all, every post, even the actors started doing it, hashtag release the Snyder Cut. And I can say that I also was doing that hashtag.
Yeah, well, I wish I was on that train because well, see, what happened was I didn't really fully know what was going on at the time.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't following much movie news as I am today with Marvel and DC stuff. And I was on like release the Snyder Cut. I really thought Zack Snyder did direct Justice League. It was just like it was like the ultimate cut, you know. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. What's that?
Yeah.
I didn't realize the big impact it had.
Very big impact.
Everybody doing it. I'm like, man, people really want to see like an extended cut of this movie.
They wanted to see what the movie is supposed to be.
What it was supposed to be. Yeah. People
were so let down by the 2017 one from the basis of people's opinion that they I don't know how long it was, like a year or two. It said 2020, but I'm pretty sure it was like at the end of 2019 all the talk started.
Yeah, I would say 2019, and they gave the announcement in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fans finally got what they wanted, and with Warner Brothers giving in to Zack and allowing him to release his cut. The redo, if you will, cost more than $70 million to make, and Warner Brothers didn't even pay Zack for it at all.
Oh, they didn't pay him? Oh, yeah. Or was it like a thing? He's all like, "Yeah, I don't want to be paid." Or...
No, he didn't say if he didn't want to or not. They said you can come in and make it, even though previously Warner Brothers was like, "No, you're not going to make the movie. We don't plan on making the movie. We're not going to do the movie." And then they finally gave in because I guess they probably got death threats from some fans, knowing how extreme they are.
I guess, I mean, fans are insane.
Yeah, don't mess with those superhero fans.
Exactly.
Warner has said that the cut is, like I said previously, utterly unwatchable. And that was their final statement. They said they do not wish to continue. They said he's done his 3 movies and he's done, is what they said. And the way it seems now, we will not be getting a continuation of the universe Zack created.
Yeah, they said this is the last one, and what is continuity is the Joss Whedon version. Yeah,
the 2017 one is still canon, sort of, or whatever this universe is.
Whatever is going on.
It's a lot, and that was all I had down for the history of leading up until the release of the movie. It's really just boils down to Zack. Like, he spent a long time. It's a 4-hour movie, so I mean, you can guess probably how hard he worked on that.
Oh yeah, and luckily, I'd say, what they had to do is just do 2 hours of filming. Just 2 hours worth of film.
I think they actually redid everything.
Okay.
Or they used some old stuff.
I mean, he already had it. He already had some clips he was already doing.
Yeah, so. But I think they might have changed it. So I think I remember the reshoots were took a really long time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously COVID was at its peak during
that's true.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
That's when they announced it. They announced it during, so.
Yeah. But he announced it during a watch party of Man of Steel.
Yeah. Was it like the beginning or like the end of it? Because I remember he did it.
I don't know.
Cavill came on or whatever, and I think he was wearing like released a Snyder Cut shirt or something. I think that's what was happening. I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
I remember seeing the live stream.
I want to talk about real quick some of the problems that people didn't like with the original Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, the biggest one, the Henry Cavill mustache situation.
Oh yeah. I mean, it like I didn't notice it at first. Like I didn't notice it, and then I remember my stepdad. He came to show me. He's like, yeah. You see that mustache? I'm like, what are you talking about? And I looked at his face. I was like, oh my god. Yeah. And then like it's like one of those things you can't unsee it. You know. Well,
to give people a little bit of background, Henry Cavill, the actor that played Superman, was filming Mission Impossible at the time of Justice League when Joss Whedon took over. And he had, according to whoever was making Mission Impossible, they told him he has to keep his mustache no matter what. He couldn't shave it off. He needed it for the film. And so they had to digitally remove his mustache in the movie. And you can tell because people, that lip don't look right. And it's like, how do you explain? It's like really blurry. The bottom half of his face, it looked like most of the film. I can't really remember. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the Joss Whedon. I saw some clips today just to kind of refresh my mind on it. Mm-hmm. But I cannot watch Justice League twice. No. I can't watch 4 hours and then watch like 2.5.
And then 2.5 of a worse version.
I know. One I can't even finish. So
yeah. What was another thing other than the mustache? I mean, obviously, the Warner Brothers said they really didn't like that scene in the old one. Tell me if you remember this. The Russian family living in the ghost city or whatever they called it in the new one. In Russia. There was like a family, there's a little girl, and she looked out the window, and then one of the parademons like popped up.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
That really doesn't make sense because the place they were at was like abandoned and nuclear, and they were living there.
Yeah, it was like a single house representing a big old nuclear power plant.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, that's not safe to live there. And there's just the only ones there.
That's just like weird. And obviously the tone of the movie was a lot different than Batman versus Superman, and so some people like the gritty stuff, and they go into this movie and they're like, "What is this?" Some people didn't like it, and they go into it and they liked it. So, I mean, it's just a very dividing movie. And so you said that you said you liked the movie originally, and then the second time you didn't?
Yeah, first time I thought, I'm all like, again, I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. I was like, yeah, okay. I said it wasn't like the best, but I enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it. Yeah. Then I popped in again while I was with my friend, and I was all like, "Yo, guess this movie. I think Warner Brothers and DC are starting to get something right here." And
never.
I'd say we were at the part where they were in the power plant or whatever. It's the scene where Flash falls on Wonder Woman. Oh, okay. I that's the scene that made me stop watching it, but it was that whole scene, that whole like fight or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there, I was like, man, I can't finish this. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I was like, you want to do something else? He's like, yeah, sure. I was like, thank God.
One thing Zack Snyder said he did not like in the Justice League 2017 version was when Superman got brought back to life and he was fighting Batman. He picks Batman up and he says, "Do you bleed?" Which was a callback to Batman versus Superman when Batman asked Superman that.
Yeah.
Which that's the only thing I kind of like that Superman brought it back on Batman because it's like nice. Like, oh yeah, because then the other movie. But apparently Zack Snyder did not like that, and that is why it was not in.
Yeah, it was in the.
That was a Joss change.
That was a Joss, yes.
Yeah, and I mean some of the jokes in the original one, the 2017 one. I mean, I would have liked to have been in this movie, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm kind of ready to go into the movie itself and stuff now, like after our thoughts on watching it. So
yeah.
So you want to do that?
Sure.
Start with part 1 if you remember what happened.
Well, here. I say you start with part 1, and I'll kind of just follow along with what you're saying.
All right. So I mean, part 1, it was called "Don't Count on It, Batman." And by the way, I should probably specify we're talking about now the Zack Snyder Justice League, not the Justice League. So it started off showing Superman dying, like we saw at the end of Batman vs Superman, except it was a little different because he was still screaming while he was like being dropped on the ground, which was like not what happened in the old one, in the Batman vs Superman. But it started like that, and his screams were like, I don't even know what they were doing. It was like traveling through the air. He could be heard all over the world, I guess, or something.
It was like it was like he was screaming so loud the sound, like an echo around the world heard it.
Yeah, and that's what awoke the mother boxes, right?
Yes.
And so I'm gonna get into some stuff that I liked and disliked about part 1, which isn't much. Obviously, Steppenwolf's new design is such a better upgrade.
Oh yeah,
than the previous.
Yeah, stop making the villains that are like fully CGI look like the actor.
Yeah,
because like nobody, it ends up looking awkward and just it just doesn't look good.
That's just like lazy editing.
Yeah, exactly.
Going to a dislike the unnecessary singing scene in where were they? It's not Iceland, is it? Norway? Wherever Aquaman was.
Yeah.
There was that scene when Aquaman goes back in the water and all those women start singing, and it was like 3 minutes of them singing. And I'm like, we could just cut this out of the movie, and it would have been a shorter movie.
Yeah, it would have saved us 3 minutes.
Yeah, like, just like, what was the point? It didn't.
I don't know.
It didn't even add any effect to anything. It was just like.
Yeah, and then is that the same? There's a couple of lines. Like I always quote it myself because it just sounds weird. I think is that the scene where like Ben Affleck's like, "I need warriors." He kind of like whispers it. He's like, "I need warriors to help" or whatever. Is that the whole thing? Yeah, he tries to find Aquaman. Okay, make sure.
Yeah.
I need warriors to help me.
The one greatest line that Ben Affleck's Batman said in that movie was when he was talking to Flash. They were getting in his car, and Flash was like, "What are your superpowers again?" And he goes, "I'm rich."
Yeah, I think everybody wants that power.
And I don't know if you noticed this, whenever he drove off, there was a billboard on the side of the building, and it was the number for the suicide prevention hotline.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, so that was a nice thing Zach put in there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Here's another like from part 1. Okay, the Battle of Themyscira that happened when Steppenwolf was coming to take the mother box from the Amazonians.
Amazonians.
Yeah. It was so much better from what I remember in the original one. The original one was really like cool. Just quick.
Yeah.
But this one was like, I mean, that whole scene with the like she went sliding out with the mother box and that of the temple, and the temple fell into the ocean, and then all the parademons rose up and the battle commenced again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and when they're out there on that field with the horses and everything, I mean, I was laughing so hard when he grabbed that one horse. I'm like, dang. Yeah, I mean, I was having a great time with that scene. It was great.
I like the part where Steppenwolf got shot with like a bunch of arrows, and he just like flexed his muscles, and they all snapped in half.
Just flexed them. Oh my god. Yeah, it was that was probably probably my favorite scene in like the movie. Actually, it was really cool.
It was, and there's another thing branching off of what I said a minute ago. Zack Snyder, I can give him major props. The dude knows how to have great cinematography in his movies. Like he knows, like all of his movies, from what I remember, like have pretty great shots.
If there was one movie, I mean, I need to rewatch Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman.
Yeah,
but I mean this one has some pretty good shots. But from all the Zack Snyder movies I've seen, Watchmen, I swear it's so good. There's a lot of good shots in that movie.
I need to rewatch Watchmen. You know what? I'm going to do that tonight.
I'll talk about it.
I'll talk about it on next week's episode. Know what I thought. Let's do this real quick. Do you remember the scene at the coffee shop when Lois Lane was walking out, which was really weird, by the way, because there was like a really strange music choice playing in the background while she was doing it. But
what song was that again? It was.
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter.
But if you pause, what?
Well, I'm saying like she was picking up coffee and she goes to like the taxi or whatever. Oh, she gives it to the taxi driver. Yes.
Yeah. Whenever she was walking out of the coffee shop, you pause it. You look through the window. Zack Snyder's sitting there.
Is he really?
Yeah, he had his own cameo. I thought it was really cool.
Man, you really would do.
I did.
Dude, I didn't even know all this. I didn't even know he was sitting there.
Yeah, I paused it and I was like, there was a moment I paused it at because I was getting up to get a drink and I was like, Zach?
Zach, is that you?
He was sitting at the table writing stuff down.
He was writing Army of Darkness or whatever. Not Army of Darkness.
Army of the Dead.
Yes, Army of the Dead. That's what he was doing.
I also think they should have kept the line whenever Batman was with Aquaman talking to him, where he was like, Arthur Curry, hey, you can talk to fish. I think they should have kept that line. That would have been fun.
I don't know. Because sometimes I don't know if it's Ben Affleck or whatever, but like sometimes lines he don't like if it's like supposed to be like a joke line, it doesn't come across good to me.
You probably blame Kevin Smith for that. He always has Ben Affleck in his.
I know, darn Smith. I also watched Daredevil the other day with Ben Affleck. That's hilarious. That's a great movie.
Wow.
I'll get in that in the comic burrito episode.
Yeah. Another thing I disliked, which I get why they did it, and so I'm not gonna be too mad about it, is the aspect ratio of the movie.
Oh yeah, I did not like it.
You get used. I get. It was made for IMAX, but I mean, you get used to it.
It ain't. You're all right. You get used to it, and I think it also depends on what size TV you have.
Well, I don't know because I've watched it on multiple kind of TVs, and like I have a small TV over at and then I have this big one here, and then a smaller one at my dad's house, and each one has the black borders.
Yeah.
On the side. So,
yeah, well, all of them are going to do because it's the 4x3, and he did this to make the heroes look taller and more heroic. Is that right?
Yeah, and apparently you see more on that aspect ratio than you would like
it's more taller. Yeah. I saw it on two things. I saw it on first. I saw it with me and my dad. We saw it on his 75, and then obviously the second time I watched it on my phone. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because I completely forgot this movie was in 4x3. And I turned on, I was like, what in the world is going on here? I was like, oh yeah.
I tried to see if I could trick HBO Max into letting me change the aspect ratio, but I couldn't.
Okay, I would like to see them. No, because they saw a 4x3 film, they couldn't do it. Okay, but anyways.
Yeah. One thing I liked about part one also was the Superman symbolism almost, if you will. Like he kept popping up throughout the beginning of it, like his symbol, and mentioning him, which he would because I mean he just died. He was a hero.
Yeah.
But I also have a little complaint about Superman stuff that I'll get into here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they were better at dealing with Superman's death than the original movie. Because the original movie, they had like the beginning where it showed like this is Earth when Superman's gone, and then they didn't mention him throughout the rest of the stuff until they brought him back.
Yeah. Everyone was all like, it felt like it was glossed over in the original.
Yeah. But
and this one, this is like a lot of. I mean, it was Batman's motivation in the last one, but in Zack Snyder's, it's like, it's constantly brought up. Why he wants to, because he doesn't want anyone else to perish.
Yeah.
And so.
And that's all the likes and dislikes I had for part one.
Yeah, I'll say part one I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can say I have a favorite part because I kind of like them all equally for different reasons.
Yeah.
I like the full I think I believe it was part 4 where it was almost like completely all cyborg.
Was it part 4? Hold on.
Yeah, Change Machine.
Yeah.
I love that was a good chapter. Yeah. I think I would say that one's probably my favorite.
All right. You want to go on to part 2?
Yes, go to part 2.
Part 2, The Age of Heroes. I like that name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, starting off, you just gotta love Batfleck, man. Like,
literally, okay. He is my favorite Batman.
He's a good Batman.
I know it's a hot take. It's not even really his. I love everything about him. I don't like the killing. I don't like that part.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But his, and a lot of it has to do with I love the Dark Knight Returns comic and movie. I kind of got introduced to Batman in that way. Because my dad had a Dark Knight Returns comic or something, or I always saw that Batman. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Batman, because he was just big, brooding,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was old. I just thought he was just Batman, was just a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then plus Ben Affleck's suit, I really love.
Okay, this is a little branch off, but it's still connected to this, the Flash movie. Did you see the set photos that just got leaked today?
I did see the set photos.
With the Bat Cycle and that looked like an armored version of Ben Affleck's Batsuit.
Yeah, I originally thought it was, I for some reason, I thought it was Michael Keaton. I'm like, oh, does he get like a new suit in this movie? Mm-hmm. Along with the 89 suit, but I was reading the description and all the comments on the thing you sent me.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh, that's a new Batfleck suit.
It did, and it looked good, too, from what I saw. I mean, obviously, they're going to CG the cape in like they normally do and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm excited for that. But
is Ben Affleck playing him or no?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he is? Okay.
And there are rumors that he's going to get killed off in this movie. Because originally he was supposed to get killed off in the second Justice League movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's also a thing, which I'll get into something they kind of nodded to in the movie. But originally you're supposed to find out that Lois and Bruce had I guess you could say an affair.
Yes, I heard about that.
and that Lois was going to be pregnant with Bruce's kid.
That I want to see that in the next.
And the kid would have became the next Batman once Bruce died.
Yeah. Oh, if that I kind of wish that happened just to see what would happen.
I don't know. Like, it's just like
it does. It sounds like super out of character though.
It does.
And because unless he didn't know, he would have had to know. Yeah, because he met Lois during the fight, or while they were fighting at the very end, the whole Martha scene and everything.
Oh my gosh!
He met her there. He met her there. So yeah, he knows. Oh, if you did that is like Batman.
Yeah,
man, Batman, you're an awful person.
Yeah,
but
do dislike the movie, and I've said this already, so I'm not going to dwell on it. It needs more humor.
I didn't expect this to be like a full laugh fest or anything.
Yeah.
But like, nothing wrong with with a 4-hour movie.
It just needs something to keep me watching, like into it. Like I was into it, but I wasn't like into it. Like I would be with a Marvel movie. A Marvel movie, I sit there, everyone be quiet. I'm watching a Marvel movie.
I noticed a lot of sometimes characters in this. It's not even this movie. It's just almost in every DC movie. They're almost kind of bland sometimes.
They are, and I think that has something to do with. I don't know if you would. I can't not really like the script writers would have something to do with it, but the scripts are always like changed by Warner Brothers based on what they want, and I think they can go back to them in the fault that they don't know how to manage their characters.
Yeah, they don't. They don't know how to keep the same characters like as the same person. And they go. I don't think have they ever even gone through a movie without like a script? I know a lot of films do that, but like they go through like 3 or 4 rewrites, don't they?
Yeah.
They find a script, they like it, and they'll change it almost like in the middle of production. Almost, I swear they do it with a bunch of films. I know it's nothing new, but like you want to make sure that doesn't happen. You want it to at least happen one time. You know.
Yeah. I think this is the way my mind goes to it. I think Warner Brothers only bought DC because it's DC and they can make money. And they didn't do it thinking they would have to be making all these movies.
Yeah, once... And I like it. I'll tell you what, I wish they would just do Elseworld stories. Like, I would have loved if they just did the complete opposite of what Marvel was doing. Or Disney and MCU was doing, and they just did their own thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're all like, okay, we're gonna have this little Batman series. It's gonna be like 2 movies, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? We could have 3 directors doing their takes on these characters. I would have been down to see that.
Yeah,
but I don't blame them from going into the direction MCU was going because that was very profitable.
Yeah. It seems like
screwed up so many times.
It seems like Warner Brothers is scared at the moment because I think there are talks about them getting bought out by AT&T. Because AT&T want the Snyderverse. They are full into it, and they want to make the Snyderverse Arkham Knight-based movie, which I talked about this past episode.
Which makes me nervous at the same time. I'll explain at the end of this.
All right.
I'm not nervous. I'm not. I'll explain it later.
No. But I can go ahead and say I'm all for them doing the Snyderverse. And I know you don't like the evil Superman, but I'm gonna try. Let me see if I can change my mind a little bit. We haven't seen evil Superman live action, have we?
No.
So wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, but it feels like we have it in like everything almost.
Well, like video games, like 5 video games where it happens, and comic books. Yeah. But you can't really count Injustice. He's not really evil. He's more just like.
It feels like the last good Superman movie we've had was. I like Man of Steel, but like, literally the Christopher Reeve Superman like that. I don't know. That just speaks a lot of Superman to me.
Superman has been on the bench for a long time. That's their one of their most popular characters, and they've made how many Superman movies?
After I would say the first, they've made 5 movies.
Okay, so
and those
you'd
are
think
just
there'd be more. And how many?
That's not including like Batman versus Superman nor Justice League.
And how many have Batman been in? Let's see, like counting old. He's been in like other old movies too, like before the '60s one, right? He was like in a black and white.
I believe there was a live action Superman show. It was on like TV and all that. But are we going to include shows, or are we just talking movies?
Movies.
movies. Okay, so you have the Tim Burton and slash.
Well, no, wait. There was a 1960s movie too.
There was, yes, you're right. The Adam West Batman movie. I completely forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. So
you got that.
And then the 1989.
Yeah, you got the Tim Burton.
And then the Batman Returns.
Slash Joel Schumacher, so that's 4.
Yeah, and then
films, which is 3.
Yeah, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Which there was supposed to be a third one after that, after Batman and Robin, but because of Batman and Robin, it was canceled. It would have had the Scarecrow in it, which I thought would be cool.
Yeah, and there was going to be like a whole scene with it's supposed to have every Batman villain come back from it was going to have Jack Nicholson back as Joker.
Yep.
For for a one scene because it was like a nightmare scene or whatever.
Yeah, remake that movie. Make that movie. Release.
I would
that movie. I don't know what it was called, but release it. # release the sequel to Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I think what was it? It was like Batman. It started with a V, I believe. But anyways, I think it was.
So wait.
Well, okay. So after the Nolan films, you had
we haven't went past the. Hold on. We have 5 so far. The 60s, 1989, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. That's 5. Yes. And then they took a break, and then Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan. So Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, so that's 8.
Yes.
And then that was the last solo Batman movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was back in 2000.
Do you want to count the Lego Batman movie? I mean, it is a Batman movie made by Warner Bros.
We said live action, right? But I mean, I guess. Okay.
I mean, it's still a movie. We said movie.
Okay. We'll count Lego Batman. 9.
Yeah.
There's 9 then.
And then
that's not including the animated stuff.
Yeah, no.
And the Batman, which is coming out next year, so that's 10.
Exactly, compared to how many was it? Superman again? 5,
6.
6 to 10. Superman is the face.
And only one of them has been spot on.
Yeah. For me. The Superman is like the face of DC, basically, and he's so underutilized.
Yeah,
it's awful when the CW can make a better Superman than what was on the movies at the time.
It's crazy because I beg for a non-evil Superman, and I want Superman to be human and everything, and yet it's presented right in front of me with Superman and Lois, and I haven't watched it yet.
That's really good. Him being a dad.
I need to watch it. I'll watch it this week.
It's really good. All right, but let's go back to part 2.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what happened.
Who's it there?
I like the Steppenwolf motive.
Yeah, Steppenwolf, it just works. I'll tell you, that's probably the biggest plot. He's probably my favorite character in this movie.
My favorite character is
Well, he's one of my favorite characters. I think because just the last movie was just so bad with him. He's just him being more. Just motives being better, and he just looks better. It's more. It's super cool when he's talking to Darkseid. I'm all like,
oh yeah,
this is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Whenever he Desaad, was that the other guy's name?
I believe so.
Yeah, he was doing some kind of prayer or something, and he steps back, and the Darkseid steps up, and the music gets all that was
an apocalypse. I'm like, oh yeah.
that had the same feeling to me as the scene in Infinity War when Thanos stepped out of the portal in Wakanda, and the music was boom, that. That had the same kind of feeling to me. He's technically the Thanos of DC.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But I mean, I don't think no one would disagree with that.
Yeah, but Steppenwolf's motive in this, if I remember correctly from watching it, was that he did something. He killed some people that were after Darkseid's throne, and Darkseid didn't like it. He wanted to deal with them himself or something like that. And so he banished Steppenwolf and told him to take 150,000 worlds or something like that.
Or take over a world or something.
Oh, it was remember, because there's also that saying he was 50,000 more worlds, and then we'll talk or whatever Darkseid said.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
And so his whole Steppenwolf's whole motive was like, I want to prove myself to Darkseid. He was devoted. And in the original one, he didn't have any motive. He was just, I'm bringing Darkseid to Earth.
Yeah. Cool.
Like, okay. And
I guess I believe you.
Yeah. So I mean, I really appreciated them doing that. With his whole purpose for doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something that was introduced in this movie, was going to be expanded upon, but was changed. The introduction of Ryan Choi, aka the Atom.
The Atom, yes.
So he wasn't the Atom in this movie, but he was Ryan Choi, who takes over for Ray Palmer in the comic.
Mm-hmm.
But they were going to make an Atom movie until it got canceled.
Yeah, you said Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder was going to make it. I guess that would have been one of his spin-offs, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Which, that's such a wasted opportunity. No one wanted a Birds of Prey movie. Like, was it Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn or something like that?
Something like that.
No one wanted to watch that. We wanted to watch an Atom movie.
I want an Atom movie.
Like, it would have done so well. Ant-Man did well. This would have done well if they did it right.
Oh yeah, I believe so.
The Atom is in the CW. He was on Arrow, and now he's on Legends. No, he was on Legends of Tomorrow. He's not anymore. But they did him really well in that. He had like the armored suit and like an Iron Man suit, but not really. He could shrink, and he can shoot stuff and make it real large or small.
Yeah. A lot of justice was actually served to Adam. The show, and he was also a character in the Injustice 2 video game.
He was, yeah. That was Ryan Choi.
Yeah, he was super good. I named him a lot.
I mained Flash. I had the Justice League Flash outfit.
Oh yeah, that was like a promotional thing, right?
Yeah, and I only got the Batman, Ben Affleck Batman symbol, and I got the Aquaman trident, and I got the whole Flash outfit. I worked for that Flash outfit.
Yeah, that was Injustice 2 is probably my favorite superhero fighting game, if not more.
Hopefully, Injustice 3 or the next game they do. That's superhero.
I keep hearing it's a Marvel game. I keep hearing NetherRealm's doing a Marvel game.
Hey, well, I'm okay with that too.
So you better have that Injustice 2 here.
The only Marvel fighting game like that I've played is Marvel vs. Capcom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I love. 2, I love every one of them besides Infinite.
That's the only one I've played.
You played Infinite? Yeah. Oh, you're missing out.
Sorry. I should probably. I've seen them on there. I just haven't been able to look in them.
Get 3. It's on the PlayStation 4 store. It's like $10. It's always on sale.
All right. Do it. I'm gonna go to a dislike real quick. Every time Diana is on screen, and me and you talked about this before we started recording, but every time she's on screen, you hear
every time
you hear the singing, and it drives me nuts. I don't think I can play it. I don't think I can play it on my phone through the mic because I'm pretty sure we get copyrighted.
Yeah.
But, it's just, if you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, they'll do the ha or like that. Well, they do that sometimes.
Yeah, well, that song, that last one, her theme song, like gets stuck in my head a lot. So I'll find myself the other day going like,
I'll kill you if you ever do that. Anyway. I will snap your neck like as Superman did the Zod.
I'll keep that in mind.
I ain't gonna take it. I ain't gonna hear it.
Let's see. Again with the strange music choices. I really feel like the movie time could have been reduced to about like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, there was there was stuff that was useless, but I think Zack same time kind of knew he ain't gonna get like a Snyder cut, ultimate cut, you know?
Yeah, the complete.
So he's like, screw it, I'm just gonna do everything in one thing. So
yeah. And
I would like to see a cut down version, but I would want him to just do it himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just a just so people, who don't want to get that extra stuff, they can just watch like a shorter version and still get everything they need.
Yeah. Obviously, Jason Momoa is awesome as Aquaman. And they also announced that in Aquaman 2, he's going to have blonde hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so comic accurate.
Okay.
They managed to make Aquaman cool. I found myself saying Aquaman was my favorite character in the movie, which I never thought I would ever say in any kind of context ever.
I always thought of Aquaman as the same with like Daredevil and stuff, where it's like easy to make fun of him because of just what is on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Aquaman hunting, like, he does echolocation of fish. He just messes around with fish. But no, I mean, they're a lot deep. And, people see Daredevil's like, oh, it's the blind guy that can fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, it's like, it's way more to it than that.
Yeah. And
they've done Aquaman justice in these. You said you didn't like Aquaman that much?
The movie?
Yeah, the movie.
I liked it. I just didn't. I don't think I ever said I didn't like it.
Well, no, I was thinking about Shazam. Sorry.
Shazam, yeah. I didn't like that.
I thought the Aquaman movie was okay, besides Amber Heard, of course.
Yeah, that's a lot of drama.
That's a lot of drama.
We've already got enough drama as it is.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But I loved, Aquaman. I agree with you. Aquaman was probably one of the coolest characters in that movie.
Yeah. I want to talk about also Willem Dafoe. He was in Aquaman already, but like Willem Dafoe as the character he played in Atlantis. Green Goblin. All right.
Yeah, he's the Green Goblin to me. Every time I see him, I just see Green Goblin.
Yeah, I wrote down right here on the paper, Green Goblin's is Aquaman's, but I never finished it because I just squiggled it out.
Exactly. Yeah, basically.
But the history of Darkseid's attack when he first came to Earth, I thought that was such a good scene. That's one of my favorite of the whole movie.
Oh yeah, with like the lantern corps and everything.
Yeah, you see the lanterns, you see Zeus, and
Zeus.
Everyone.
Do you see Hercules as well?
Yeah, I think so. And Ares, just like all that. And of course, with the Green Lantern appearance, so that was the first time we've seen a live-action Green Lantern since
Ryan Reynolds.
Right? Yeah.
Since Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and they killed him off like almost immediately. But I really would have liked to see where that ring went. Like if it crashed into a house or something, it just showed it. That'd be cool. I
would have totally loved to see Green Lantern show up in like a Zack Snyder Justice League movie.
He was supposed to, right? With Jon Stewart. It was that Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, there was like concept art or something of like
they filmed it. They filmed it, but then they cut it because the Warner Brothers said no.
So it ain't the Snyder cut then. This is cool. We were played.
The old Kevin Smith bait and switch.
Oh yeah, thanks, man.
No. By the way, this is still related to DC, but not related to what we're talking about. If you all listened to our previous episode, we talked about He-Man, or we're talking about Masters of the Universe Revelations, and Kevin Smith's decision to do what he did and stuff in there. But if you tune into his newest episode of his podcast of Fat Man Beyond, which I think he called He-Man Beyond on this.
Yeah, he called it He-Man Beyond.
He's there with the voice of Orko, and he is basically, he's talking about how people are judging it prematurely. He said, they act like they've never seen a show before. Obviously, they're going to come back. Is what he said. He basically spoiled it, but still.
I beg to differ. Like he's all like, yeah. Well, from what I'm hearing, the hate is the minority. So
yeah, well, Netflix is the one. He said Netflix. He told them that it's mainly hate. Netflix said good.
Yeah, he's all like, oh well.
Because they said it's like 5,000 to 10,000 people are hating, but we have like 21, or 200 and something million subscribers.
Did you see they lost like half of their subscribers?
They did.
Yeah, they lost like 50 million like last week or something. I don't know if it was because of He-Man or if it
He-Man,
was. I don't know.
who knows? I wouldn't have deleted Netflix because of it. So
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't like it. But.
That's all I have for part 2.
Yeah, that's all I mean, I got everything I wanted to say.
Part 3. Let's go on to that. Beloved mother, beloved son. I don't have much for this one because
it's kind of a lot of.
No, okay. Change Machine was not the cyborg one. This one was the part 3. Beloved mother, beloved son. Because I wrote down cyborg origin. We get to see an incredible, detailed, like, basically showing us how Cyborg became Cyborg.
Yeah.
And I already knew that, like, he was in an accident or whatever, but, like, seeing it in live action, I just thought was so cool. He'd won the football game, and he was like, everyone was cheering.
From what it was, right? Because wasn't it originally he was playing a football game during, like, the Superman?
Yeah, something like that.
And then that's how he became, like, that's how he got hurt and all that. But this one, it's like a car wreck.
Yeah. But it showed him, he's celebrating. We kept the stands. His mom was up there, like, in tears, crying. And then he saw that his dad wasn't there. And then on the car ride home, he was talking to his mom. He was like, Dad should have been there. You're twice as busy as he is, yet you make time and all that. And his mom, the last words she said to him were, I see what you are today, and I can't wait to see what you'll be tomorrow. And then the crash.
Yeah, man.
And you find out that the mom died, and Cyborg was basically dead.
Yeah, he got brought back to life though.
Yeah, the acting by the guy, I don't know who played Silas Stone in that, but the acting from him when he was over at Victor's body, and he was like, "No, I won't let you die. I won't allow it," and all that. And I thought he did great in that scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and what he did though was pretty sadistic.
Yeah. Well, I'd say there's one. Oh yeah, it's awful. But I just got reminded of the scene where I don't even remember how the whole scene played out, but it's like someone's like, "Don't you want to, like, save the world?" And like Cyborg's all like, he says, well, he doesn't say screw the world. He drops an F-bomb.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I started laughing.
Was it Wonder Woman that said that to him, right?
Yeah. She's like, look, don't you want to, like, save your world or save your planet? He's like, F the planet.
Yeah.
I started laughing like crazy. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. This movie's great.
Batman dropped one of those too at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I think everyone at least got one of them. I know Batman. Yeah, well,
Batman surprised me. I was like, whoa.
Oh, I cannot wait for that scene. Oh my gosh, I forgot we have to talk about that. Oh, yep. I'm so happy. We need to talk about the epilogue later.
The nightmare scene. Yes. I got stuff about that.
Oh, I'm so happy.
So, I mean, I got my 2 likes for that. That's all it really was a cyborg thing. His bonding with his dad, and his dad bringing him back to life with a mother box, which was really awful.
Yes.
And, I mean, also, I wrote down, still don't enjoy the Wonder Woman music.
Still don't. Yeah, it happens a lot. I swear, it happens every time she shows up.
I wrote down something, but then I stopped writing. So
did you write down how many times they played it? Did you write down how many times they played it?
No, but I should have.
We should have.
Cyborg is too overpowered.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll see that in part 4. Oh my God.
They talked about how he can, with a thought, send the world's nuclear arsenal somewhere. Like, that's just a little much. I feel like he shouldn't be able to do that.
The man can, well, oh, you want to kind of go into part 4 because it discusses a lot about that, right?
Yeah, I had one other point that I wanted to say.
Oh, okay.
I can say it real quick, and then we can go into.
Yeah, go ahead.
I kind of feel like Superman should have been a bigger driving force for the team.
You don't think it was?
No, I mean they were like obviously eventually they said, "Oh, we got to bring him back." And Batman knew that he was doing this for Superman, but it really should have been like Superman died. Superman died to sacrifice himself. He sacrificed himself for us. We have to make him proud and save the world that he loved. But that wasn't really what it was. Batman was more like, I just fought the dude and now he's dead and I feel bad.
Oh, okay. So you wanted it to be like everyone wanted to do it for Superman besides just Batman wanted to do it for Superman. Okay, I got you.
Well, I'm gonna give a spoiler real quick to compare this to something. Yeah. In the show Arrow, at the end of the show, he died. Arrow did, and in the crossover that they did, Crisis on Infinite Earths, everybody teamed up, and they were doing it because of Oliver Queen. And they had this whole scene where all the heroes were lined up. Every Martian Manhunter was there, and Superman, and all this, which is like, it's so much better than the movies. I just don't understand. But
I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah, but they all stood there, and then one person yelled for Oliver, and someone else yelled it, and then everyone yelled it, and they charged and took out the
Oliver. Yeah,
it was a really cool scene, and I really felt like that kind of energy is what I wanted in this a little bit.
I gotcha.
But I digress. We can move on to part 4 now. Change Machine.
Okay. Change Machine. So you mentioned Cyborg being OP.
Yes.
Oh god, there's this one scene and literally he could make the whole economy collapse if he wanted to.
Right.
Thank God his dad knew he was like not going to turn into a supervillain or whatever, because like literally he could. There's a scene where there's this woman and she's like with her child and she just doesn't have like enough money in the bank or whatever, like feed her child or pay off her rent. And literally Cyborg takes out like $10,000, right?
Yeah.
Out of some random guy's account and just puts it in her account.
Yeah.
And I was all like, oh my gosh.
Dude's pretty OP.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was nice to do, but it's not. I don't think so. I mean, no, didn't he take it from like some like bad guy or whatever?
I didn't think he took it from anybody. I thought he just like made it.
Oh, he just put it in. I think he might have done that actually.
Because he just like did something with his hands and it all just appeared.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He puts his hands together.
Yeah, and then
like sandwich, and he just builds it.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
And then it popped up on the ATM that she once spent $100,000 Gotham sweepstakes.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
I would have been. Oh, it's like I never entered.
Like what? So this part, they had the big sewer fight.
Yes.
In the original movie, that was where Flash landed on Aquaman, on Wonder Woman.
And that's where I quit watching the film.
And then that was where we found out both of their moms were named Martha. I'm just kidding. I heard a joke the other day. It was talking about WandaVision. It's a little bit of Marvel, but the whole scene where Vision was fighting White Vision, somebody was like, and see, this is the moment where we find out that Vision's name is Martha and White Vision's name is also Martha, and they fight because their mom's name is Martha, and because their moms have the exact same name because they're both Vision.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, and it was like I just love how we can make jokes like that.
I love. Yes. I'm glad. You liked watching each other with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
that was funny.
That was funny. Let's see. What does this say? This is a dislike. It took 2 hours to assemble the team in this movie, which is the same length as the old one. Which I get, it was a long movie, but like, I mean, that's a long time. I feel like I'd want more of them trying to figure out how to stop this together instead of like 2 hours of recruiting.
People go to see these movies for action and the characters interacting with each other. Luckily, we get that in the very beginning of the film with Batman interacting with Aquaman, different people. But it's great when they're like all together interacting, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it was 4 hours long, and you know, with 2 hours in it, and literally, it kind of supports you watching half, and then take a break, and then watch the other half.
Yeah, the first time I watched it all the way through.
Yeah, that's what I did too. I do both times. So
yeah, and part 4 also
breaks and stuff.
Part 4, when I first watched it, even though this time I already knew it was coming, but it's a certain scene made me kind of not go crazy, but like I was very excited. We'll get into that in a second. We had our first mention in part 4 of bringing Superman back, and Flash obviously being the fanboy that he is the whole time. I can say this connects to the scene I was excited with. I almost shed a tear during the coffee scene with Lois and Martha.
Yeah, that was a good scene. I like that scene.
Yeah, we're talking about how much they missed him.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's almost, yeah, it's like a wife and a mother talking about they lost someone very special. You know, she lost a son. She lost, you know, probably the love of her life.
Yeah.
You know.
And after that, their whole talk, Martha walks out of her apartment, and this is the cool part.
Oh yeah, this part
where she stood there and her eyes lit up red, and the music started getting louder, and then you see a cape fall down, and you look, and it was Martian Manhunter, and oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna like. When I first watched the movie, I was just so shocked.
I mean, I don't know if I was shocked. I was like, whoa. Well, I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Martian Manhunter. Yeah, I didn't know this at all.
Even though it's not the first live action Martian Manhunter we've had, because he was on Supergirl on the CW, which that was even more shocking on that show when it happened, because the guy was like the leader of this team that hunted aliens or something like that. And then he takes Supergirl into this room, and then he says, my real name is John Jones, and he transforms, and he said, some people call me Martian Manhunter, and it was just like, oh my gosh, because I never thought I could see stuff like that on a TV show.
Oh yeah,
but
superhero TV shows have like really impressed me on what they can do.
Yeah, that's the way it. You know, Marvel has good movies and DC has bad movies, and Marvel doesn't have great shows, but DC has great shows.
I don't know about that.
That's what I think.
You really? Well, you don't think they're bad? They're just the DC.
Not bad. DC makes it better. I feel like
DC makes better animated movies. Well,
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, DC thrives in the TV department, and Marvel thrives in the movie department.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. But like Martian Manhunter is great, and then we see him transform into his human version, which is the Army General from Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, I thought because I don't know why, because I don't remember that guy at all. But for some reason, he popped up. I'm like, oh, it's that guy, because I knew who it was somehow. You know, because if you like send me a picture any other day, I wouldn't have known. But for some reason, I kind of just knew. I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen this guy before in like a previous movie.
I mean, yeah, that's all I can remember for part 4. It didn't it end with the Martian Manhunter? No, it ended with them saying, "Oh no, I really don't remember how it ended." It either ended with Martian Manhunter, or it ended with them saying, "Let's go get Superman" or something like that.
No, it ended with the scene.
The last part of part 4.
Oh, I don't remember. I think it was get Superman.
Yeah, but let's move on to part 5.
Okay, here, can you start off with this scene? I'll be right back. I have to go grab something.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you on this, but I'll be right back.
This is a podcast. How unprofessional. I'm just kidding. All right. He didn't even hear me. So we're gonna move on to part 5, which is called "All the King's Horses," as a nod to the Humpty Dumpty nursery rhyme. So, something I noticed in this was Lois was in her apartment, and she was kind of just looking around, looking at pictures of her and Clark. And she opens up a drawer, and there was a pregnancy test box inside of there, which kind of, I think, is a nod to what I was talking. It would have set up if they did a Justice League 2. Maybe her and Bruce, maybe it happened. I don't know. But I think that maybe that's what that was setting that up. I really do think that a few lines from the 2017 one should have made it into this movie, but
okay. So I'm back.
Back.
So,
all right, I've been sitting here. I've been talking.
Okay, so lines of 2017 version. Okay, so
yeah, but before that, I was talking about there's a scene when Lois is in her apartment looking at a picture of her and Clark, and she opens up her drawer to get something out, and there's a box of pregnancy tests in there.
Yes, okay, I remember.
And I said, I think if the second Justice League would have came out, that was a setup to maybe there would have been more, but it would have been a nod to like maybe she's pregnant and she's pregnant with Bruce's kid or something.
Oh God, please, man, that better not been it. Was that just like a rumor or was that like a joke?
No, Zack Snyder said it himself.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think that would have been a good idea, but
well, it was something he wanted to
do. I guess he just had to figure out a way to get if Batman, or if Ben Affleck ever just wanted to just leave, maybe just had a way to put something else in.
Yeah.
But
so part 5, by the way, I have the most stuff about because I think this is my favorite. The King's Horses.
All the King's Horses, yes.
Yeah. Just lay this out there. I already said it. Aquaman and Flash, best duo in the movie.
Yeah. Can we talk about the entrance to Flash, by the way? And how awkward and like uncomfortable.
It's the one when he was in the dog kennel.
He was applying for like the job and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was a cool scene though. Whenever he broke out of the glass and like,
yeah, it was cool.
He was
it was kind of creepy the way he was looking.
Yeah, he grabbed a hot dog and I was like, "What?" And then he put it in his pocket.
I didn't want to say it, but like I was like,
"This is weird."
I was like, it's very uncomfortable, and like
yeah, and he just.
I know, especially like romantic and stuff.
Yeah, his first time meeting Iris.
He's like touching her face and everything. I'm like, man, creepy. Like, yeah, she's even like, no, you. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, Barry?
Yeah.
Chill.
I was saying,
you guys in the candle. I'm like, it's just. I like Ezra Miller.
Uh-huh.
As Flash, it's just he does like I don't know if it's just what he's given. But just like the line deliveries for jokes aren't like,
Yeah.
But anyways, continue what you're saying.
This is a thing I kind of dislike. I would have liked an Atom reference, at least Ryan Choi saying, well, I'm working on a project to shrink the distance between particles or something like that.
Oh, Atom. Okay, yeah, the Atom. Yeah. I thought you were talking about Black Adam.
No.
I was like, what?
I would have liked a reference of like him working on the Atom project.
Yes.
I think it would have worked well.
Yeah, it could have worked well. Because, I mean, this is what it was. Maybe Zack Snyder he didn't want to hint at it just yet. So maybe that would have been later on.
Possibly.
They
bring Superman back in this part.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, I like the extended Superman revival scene. I talked about that earlier.
Yeah, there's only one problem I have with it.
What?
I wish he was wearing like the suit, like the black suit when he rose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wish he like gave him that while he was like in his grave or whatever.
Why did they take Superman's shirt and stuff off anyway when they put him in the water? Like, remember he was in like a suit.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Well, I was hoping he would just like. I don't even know.
Who knows why Warner Brothers does what they do?
Who knows? I just like. I think it would be cool if he wore the black suit, and then when he comes in for the final battle, where like Steppenwolf was going to like lay the axe down, he came in and he wore like the classic red and blue.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted. I know everybody thought. I mean, I like the black suit. I thought it looked good on Henry Cavill.
The black suit it's I think the official name for it's the regeneration suit.
Yeah, it's black because it goes in with the sun better.
Yeah,
and
it's
because that makes sense because he's come back to life and all that.
Yeah, that's like the whole reason for the suit is to give it to him after he comes back from the dead.
Yeah, but I don't get why he's wearing it at the end because by that point,
maybe he just wanted to be like Batman.
I guess he was. I mean, I'm kind of jealous because I would want that bat suit. I really want that Batman suit. I look so cool in it.
Let's see. By the way, I don't know if people know who Superman is now or not. Like in Batman vs Superman, they were like Clark Kent's dead in the attack, and then like Superman died, and that was the big thing. But like he came back.
I cared. Clark died. I like to think that.
Yeah, but he came back. He came back in this movie, and there were cops and people standing around everywhere, and they were all like Clark, 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 and like no one batted an eye. I'm like, what?
Clark.
And like no one gonna. I'd be the person in the back. And we're like, huh? What? No one gonna say anything about this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a comic movie.
I mean, so I can't give it too much.
Yeah.
But I loved how Cyborg's suit sensed the danger from Superman.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. It has like the it's like threat detect. It's like threat detected type of thing.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I just want to point this out. This is unrelated to this, but to the podcast itself. That I have no idea when we started, but I think we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. But we can't go over 2 hours. So, but we can if we just don't release it on YouTube.
Let's just not release it on YouTube.
Yeah, this will be like a special. Maybe we'll do all our specials on Spotify and Apple and not YouTube.
Yes.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Even though you're probably listening to it on Spotify and Apple, so you already know that. But stay next week. At the end of this, we'll have an announcement about what next week's episode will be.
Yes.
Let's see. We got our first look at the Nightmare world in this part. Whenever Cyborg was doing whatever he was doing with the console to bring Superman back, we saw dead Wonder Woman. We saw dead Aquaman. Superman holding Lois's skeleton, it looked like. And then evil Superman holding Batman's mask in one point. And
yes,
I just really feel like that would make a really good movie. And I'm just upset that they're not able to do it. Even though I know you don't like the evil Superman, I just think it'd be cool.
I think Henry Cavill could play it off great. I just, that's just, it just doesn't feel original. I constantly say it. It feels like every time I watch something that has Superman, it's just Superman. So every time Superman's in something, he's always like evil somehow.
Yeah.
It's either he's gone crazy or Brainiac's taking control of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Like what it looks like to be in the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah.
I'm just, I just want to see Superman be a good guy. I just want to see him save people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to see.
Yeah. I'm glad they kept the scene with the Superman side glance. The Flash was running up behind him, and he just like looked over.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. That was actually my favorite scene from the.
Yeah, I'm happy they kept that.
Because just the face Ezra Miller makes is just.
Yeah.
Because I think we would all have the same.
Yeah.
We would be like, oh my god, yeah, we're about to get our head knocked in.
This part 5 was the part where Silas died. He was doing what was he doing in the mother box? Something with the laser, trying to destroy it or something. I don't know.
We were.
He was in that. He locked himself in that room. And Cyborg came in. Steppenwolf was there, and he shot that laser, and he like disintegrated him basically.
Oh yes, he did that just so he couldn't grab a hold of the mother box. But hold up. Crap, man! I don't remember what happened after that because he gets it somehow.
He got the mother box. He went in there and grabbed it. I think Silas was trying to destroy it, but he didn't get.
He was trying to destroy it. He had to kill it with him, but obviously using that beam, it killed him obviously first, but it wasn't fully done with the mother box.
Yeah. Which I can say that I did cry whenever he died.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Both times. First time I ever watched it, and then the second time. Maybe not as much, but right.
Yeah. I thought it was a good death. It showed that he, because the whole, I think probably my one complaint, I think Cyborg is a little bit too hard on his dad.
Yeah.
At the same time, I understand why.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes he kind of just tries his best.
Uh-huh.
And Cyborg kind of is all like, he's like, yeah, or he's just mad at him, and.
Yeah.
Because I can't speak because I'm not a cyborg, nor has my father ever turned me into one.
Yeah.
And, but if it ever happens, I'll let y'all know how it worked out for me. But like, I think it's a little bit too hard on him. But the scene was cool because he forgives him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, it was a good scene. It was a good scene.
It was. And then the last thing I have for part 5 is my favorite line in the whole movie, at least spoken by Steppenwolf. Right when Steppenwolf took the mother box, he said, quote, "So begins the end." And then that part ended.
So begins the end.
And then that's exactly what happened, because the final part is next, and then the epilogue. So part 6, something darker.
Yes, this is basically the final battle.
Yeah.
This is basically what this whole chapter is. They get set up in the beginning, and don't you have that scene with them with Clark and Lois on the farm, right?
Yeah, you gotta love those Clark and Lois scenes, though.
Yeah, like
that's the start of everything. Man of Steel.
I don't get it because Zack can do a good Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was him or WB trying to push the whole injustice thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or evil Superman, but like literally the Clark scenes and everything, I really love. Of because it's just him and Lois just talking on the Kent farm. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah. Part 6 was also the first time we got to see Black Suit Superman.
Yes. So,
which was fun to watch.
Yeah, I like the suit. Don't get me wrong, but it's you can't beat the classic red. Red cake.
Yeah,
red blue.
Definitely. I would have liked to see Clark's memory come back a little bit slower. Like he goes to fight with the Justice League, but he still doesn't really remember them that much.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it would take longer.
Mm-hmm. He just sees Lois. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay. There's all my memories. Hello, Lois.
I know. I know what I did.
My mother's name is Martha.
Yeah, mother's name is Martha.
Batman's mother's name is Martha. Why did you say that name?
That scene in that, it's not as bad as I remember it being, but it's still kind of stupid.
Yeah. But again with the Wonder Woman music, by the way, in this.
It does do crap. Because I guess I just try to forget about it.
Yeah.
I really wish one of us. I blame that on myself for my own failings.
Yeah, I can't forget about it because every time she's on screen, all I hear is It drives me nuts.
Oh yeah, it's awful. Not the singer. She did a good job.
But still, it's just too much.
I don't want to hear you. I don't want to constantly hear you.
The final battle was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just like an hour long of them just tearing up stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's what you expect.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good though.
Yeah, the whole Flash time reversal thing. I don't know if it was time travel or time. He just reversed time.
Scene that was actually pretty cool. I don't know why, but I thought it was okay the first time I saw it. I'm like, hey, ain't that impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I thought that because I think I'm insane. But I was rewatching it this morning as we were recording this. I'm like,
this is amazing. This is like the coolest thing ever. He is literally time is ending right in front of him, and he is like walking away from it.
Yeah. See, okay, this is what, because I didn't really know what he was doing. Because in the CW Flash, I'm comparing a lot to CW because that's the only other time I've seen these characters in live action.
Yeah.
He can run so fast that he time travels.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, he can run so fast that time rewinds.
Yeah.
So it was confusing. I didn't know if he was time traveling or like rewinding time. He was rewinding.
That must be pretty fast. He can run so fast.
I think the movie Flash, Ezra Miller said that it's the speed of light, which it was just slower than the CW Flash, which he can go at like Mach.
Mm-hmm. And this is a newer Flash too.
Yeah.
Dude, like what season was Flash able to go back in time?
Like what season he did go back in time for the first time?
Yeah.
The end of season 1.
Oh dang, never mind. I thought you were gonna say like, oh, season 4 or whatever. I'm like, see, he's been like Flash for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller's been kind of new, but no, dang, at the end of season 1.
Mm-hmm. He went back in time to save his mother from dying, but he realized that if he does that, it'd mess everything up, so he had to let his mom die. It was really sad.
He just watches it. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I really loved that whole time reversal, something, whatever happened.
Yeah, that was a really cool scene. I really like. I mean, it made me. I don't know, because I was sitting there. I was like, man, that is. I don't know why I was so impressed by it. I'm like, this is like really cool, because I didn't even think Flash could. I don't know why it never crossed my mind that Flash could do that. I'm like, Flash can do this. Sitting there, and I was just googly eyed. And I was really it felt like my face was glued to the screen on that scene because it was just so impressive looking.
Yeah. But I mean, after that, what did they decapitated Steppenwolf, right? Is that what I remember? Did they decapitate Steppenwolf? Somebody did.
Did they kill Steppenwolf?
Yeah, I thought didn't they? They killed him and then sent his head or something through the portal where Darkseid was.
Yeah, Aquaman killed him. Who cut off his head?
I don't remember.
His head was cut off by someone.
Yeah. And then they sent it through the was it Wonder Woman?
They threw it at. Yeah, Aquaman stabbed and then Wonder Woman like cut his head off and like threw it at Darkseid.
Yeah, but like the whole Darkseid and showing him an apocalypse with Desaad.
He didn't care. He was just watching.
He did. Yeah. And then they saw him through the portal looking at each other. It's the first time they've seen each other. It says Wonder Woman. She saw that picture of him in that cave. Which, thoughts on that, by the way. Where did that cave come from? I don't know if I just missed it, but it showed her making a torch, and all of a sudden she was dropping through the ground, and I don't know if I missed something.
It was somewhere.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I don't know.
It was weird.
Okay, don't ask too many questions.
I'll try not to.
I'll try not to be logical.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
But yeah, that was, and I think right after that scene, that was the end of part 6, and they moved on to the epilogue. Which did it have a title? I think it did.
It was called.
It had a title, Father Twice Over.
Yeah, Father Twice Over.
This is where all the cool stuff happened. I mean, there's cool stuff happening throughout the movie, but this is where
it's weird. This is like the most cool and cringy stuff is. and I love it.
So we get to see Cyborg like forgiving his father basically, even though his father's dead. And we get to see
like a mixtape, right? It's like a mixtape or whatever.
Yeah. And we get to see Barry talking to his dad in prison. And
he gets him like out. He has like or he shows him like a job application. Or whatever.
He got I think for it to be a CSI, I think, which is what he is in the show.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, and what was it? More stuff happened, obviously, and then it shows Arkham Asylum. Was it Arkham or was it another prison? It was Arkham in the original one. I think.
It's just goes with Arkham Asylum.
Okay, and it showed that, and the guard walking down, trying to talk to. Hold on, it's escaping me. I'm remembering the old one. I think it was still the guy in the cell, and he turned around. It was a different guy, or was it? Or did they change that? Because originally it was like some guy in his cell laughing, and the guard told him to turn around. It was not Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah, it was. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's difficult. But Lex Luthor broke out of prison. He's on a yacht. He's bald because we saw that Batman vs Superman. They shaved his head and he got arrested.
Yeah,
which is a weird way to do it. Because in the comics he had cancer, and that's how he lost his hair.
No, is that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
I literally thought he like a science experiment accident happened.
It was something to do with kryptonite.
That's why he hates Superman.
Not cancer. Like it's something to do with kryptonite, and he got cancer from the kryptonite or something like that. From what I remember reading.
Well, okay. Well,
I might be wrong, but that's what I think I remember reading that.
Maybe it could be two different runs we read because I was reading like the original. Where like it's like Superman was like brand new. It shows why he hates Superman and why he turned bald because he had hair or whatever. And he was doing a science experiment and Superman accidentally like messed it up for him somehow. And it like caught his house on fire. And he like lost his hair. And he's like cursed.
There's like cursed.
There's different interpretations though, so we're both right.
There's that, and then there's the movie one where he just got it shaved in prison, and then there's the Smallville one where during the meteors crashed to Earth, and one of them was Superman in his pod, and Lex got caught by one of the some meteor explosion, and it like burned all his hair off, and he was never able to regrow it.
I just like him just being. I mean, he's just bald just because he's bald. I don't think we really. I don't want us to go into the Lex Luthor bald more. He's just bald. You know what I'm saying?
Next week on the Comic Book Burrito Extra Beef, the Lex Luthor bald lore.
Yes.
No.
We'll explain every reason Lex Luthor became bald.
Yes, we will read every comic book where it happened. No, I'm not gonna do that. So we got to see Lex Luthor on his yacht, which was it was the after credit scene of the original Justice League, right?
Yeah, they kept it in there though.
Yeah, which is cool. Which it set up the solo Batman film.
I think it was literally the same exact scene, but I think they added more to it.
Yeah, they did. Joe Manganiello's is that how you say his name? Deathstroke.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think
the actor that played
Joe Manganiello or whatever. I think you said it right.
Well, his Deathstroke came up on the boat. Obviously, love seeing Deathstroke. The only other live action Deathstroke we've had was CW, and he was still pretty good.
Yeah, he was played by the guy who played Flash in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, correct?
No, Joe Manganiello was, yeah.
Oh, that was Joe Manganiello. Okay, never mind. I got swapped. Okay.
Yeah. But the scene was there. He was talking to Lex, and originally the original scene was like put together a team or something like that, and he was basically recruiting Deathstroke to I would assume the Injustice League, and but this version of it was Lex Luthor telling Deathstroke that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah. It was that.
And so that would have set up a movie because I remember me reading that there was going to be a Batman movie where Deathstroke came in and ruined Bruce's life, killed Alfred, and did some other stuff. I don't remember the details, but I mean that's not happening now. But I guess that was it was setting that up. But there was that scene, and then the let me make sure I'm not missing anything before we go on to the good stuff. All right. And also Martian Manhunter meeting Batman for the first time, and I assume, like I said, he's the 7th member of the Justice League, and he was like, "Oh, if you need me, I'll be around."
I'll be around.
But before that, Batman had a nightmare.
Yes.
And would you like to talk about that?
I hate this whole scene, but I love it at the same time.
I love. Okay, first I want to point this out. The outfit that Flash was wearing was the same one in Batman vs Superman when Flash travels in time and he's like, she's the key, or am I too early?
The key.
Yeah, and he was like, am I too early? Oh, I'm too early, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was the same Flash outfit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
and you see it. Well, should we explain who we all see in this scene?
I mean, you can, yeah.
Okay, so we see Amber Heard. We see Amber Heard, whatever her name is. It don't matter. Everybody knows her.
Or like Mira, something like that.
Mira, yeah, and she is holding Aquaman's trident. Mm-hmm. And obviously that indicates Aquaman is dead. Yeah. Plus, you see that one scene that like that. I want to say Deathstroke.
Steppenwolf.
Darkseid. No.
It's dark. Oh yeah, it is Darkseid. You're right.
Darkseid is like pinning Aquaman into like a wall or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so obviously Aquaman's dead in this future or this post-apocalyptic future.
Yeah.
And so what happens with that is golly, man, keep talking. So yeah, obviously Aquaman's dead at some point. You see Flash. Yep. You see Cyborg.
And Deathstroke.
Okay. He's in like a hood. Yeah, you see Deathstroke. You see,
with a mohawk.
With a mohawk, which I actually thought looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
And you see Batman. And shall I say who else we see?
Yes.
Okay. We also see Jared Leto's Joker.
Which is a pretty risky move for Zack Snyder.
I'm surprised they did that. And everyone was, I don't know why, everybody was hyping it up, saying like, oh yeah, he's gonna get it right. Zack Snyder's gonna get it right.
I mean, I think he did got it a little bit better. The laugh was still pretty awful, but yeah. It's so weird. But I like his look. I think they did that well.
Yeah, the look looked better.
Did you see he had a bunch of police badges like on his?
That's like his trophies or whatever.
Yeah, all the cops he's killed.
Yeah.
And then this whole sequence is where Batman drops the F-bomb.
Yeah, I will kill you. I will ever kill you. It's like, oh, Batman.
Yeah. And he also talked about how he killed Harley Quinn too. Batman did. And that's
he killed her? I thought she just died by Darkseid.
I think he talked about how he killed Harley Quinn. I think is what I remember.
He's like, yeah, her last dying breath is for me to kill you. And trust me, I will kill you.
Yeah.
And I just,
but then
I don't know. I say I hate the whole scene, but I really don't. I hate the whole dialogue they have.
Yeah.
Because just the stuff he says.
Joker said something which I'm not going to repeat, but he said something pretty.
Pretty risque.
Pretty strange.
I was looking at my dad. I was like, did he just say that? And I had to explain it to my stepdad, and he didn't believe me. He didn't believe me. I was in the movie. I was like, I promise you.
Oh my gosh.
See, and like it just, oh man,
so weird.
It doesn't make. Oh, it does make sense. But it doesn't at the same time.
No.
Like, I guess my dad was explaining to me, he's like, maybe he's trying to say, like, I'm your Achilles heel or whatever. But, like, they could have said anything else to make it sound better. But besides, who's going to, I'm like, that's really why I hated it. And then he was all like, how about a truce? He tries to sound like,
he's like, how about a truce, Bruce?
Yeah, truce, Bruce. I don't know. It's just the dialogue they have with each other. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't click with me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and really, that takes up majority of the scene, and then I'm like, man, I don't really care for it.
Yeah, and by the end of the scene, wasn't that Superman show up, and it looked like they're about to fight? Or something.
Yeah. There's like something like crashes in front of him, I think. And then you see like Superman kind appear out of the smoke.
Yeah. See, I just really I wish they could continue it. I want to see that happen.
Yeah, I want to just. I mean, I know earlier I was all like, oh, I don't know, but yeah, I kind of see what happens too. Just like, look, if they just made, I just want to see a movie, just where it literally takes place right where that left off.
Yeah,
and stuff is explained throughout.
That's what the second Justice League was supposed to be. It was supposed to be. Well, no, the third one would have gotten to that point, I think. Or no, they're trying to stop that from happening.
Yeah, they're trying to stop it from happening. Okay.
But obviously that won't work unless AT&T actually does buy out Warner Brothers.
Which I'm all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all support for the Zack Snyder universe. You know, I mean, I think it's. I don't know. It kind of hurts to say. I don't know. I'm kind of tracing myself because here I'll explain. So what happens after the nightmare scene? But I mean, I do agree. I would like to see maybe that come to see all that happening one day.
Yeah. Very much.
So
and
after the nightmare scene, we see the Martian Manhunter scene.
Yeah, and then he flies away, and then credits. And at the end of the credits, he said, it was a note that said like for autumn or something like that.
Yeah. It says like for autumn.
Which, if you guys don't remember, was his daughter who died.
Who passed away. Yeah.
And that was Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you could rate this movie, 1 to 10, what would you rate? 1 being horrible, 10 being fantastic movie, amazing.
I would. Well, considering I can't even finish I can't finish the Joss Whedon one. Joss Whedon has to be like a 2 or a 1. This one's This one's by far better.
Yeah. What would you rate it?
I would have to give it maybe. I don't want to say it, because I know there's a lot of Zack Snyder fans out there, and I full capacity. I support Zack Snyder.
Don't want us getting canceled.
Yes, I have to give it like a 6 or a 5 though.
Okay.
I know. I feel like that's too low though.
Give it a 7.
I don't know. I go with 6 or 7.
Okay. I'm gonna, for the original 2017 one, I'm gonna give it a 3 because it was still, it wasn't a good movie by any chance, and it was a pretty bad movie, but it was still, I remember enjoying it when I first watched it. So I mean, I'll give it that credit, but that's probably about it. The jokes were good most of the time, but
most of the time,
yeah. And Zack Snyder's Justice League, I would give an 8 out of 10.
An 8.
It's not fantastic, not the best movie, but it was pretty good.
I'm just, the only reason why I'm giving it low is I don't like much of them. I don't know. I like the movie, but it's just, there's stuff that just can't be fixed. Again, I don't really fully like obviously with Superman, I don't fully like the direction it was going. But and this is probably a really hot take. I think a lot of people were raving about this movie, saying it was super good. It was just good,
Yeah.
And I don't see it. I just see it as just okay at best.
You like it less than I like it.
Yeah, I like it less, and I like it way less than.
Which I mean, that's a good thing, because I mean, if we both liked it, we'd be sitting here talking about it, and there'd be no criticism.
Yeah, I don't really care for the movie, but I'm still in support for the Snyderverse.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people. I think people like the idea of this movie rather than what was given to them. You know,
that's a good point.
It's like Zack Snyder's making this movie that it was going to. So yeah, instead of just figuring out what the movie was. If that I'm probably saying that completely off, but like the movie did, but I saw this video on YouTube called, and it was High Top's film. And he said, I did not love Zack Snyder's Justice League, but that doesn't matter. And it sums up exactly how I feel. Because there's so many problems with this movie. At the same time, it doesn't matter because it's like, because it's good. I'm glad he went back to make his movie. I'm glad he did that. And, and just, I think that's what people like about it. They like the idea of what this whole movie represents. Uh-huh. Then, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And I think that's just why everyone always just kind of raves about it. Mm-hmm. They rave about the story behind it and then, the movie.
Yeah. And, that's all my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I don't have anything else I need to say because people probably hate me now. I'm probably hated.
I'm gonna go ahead and give an announcement, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So next, I guess it'll be next. I don't know if it'll be the same day or not. We'll have to figure it out. But the next episode of the Comic Book Burrito Extra Beef will be focusing on the acclaimed video game series, the Batman Arkham series.
The acclaimed Batman Arkham series.
Yeah. Consisting of Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Origins, and Batman Arkham Knight. We're not going to be counting the mobile game that came out called Arkham Underworld, which is a thing, and also the what was that one that came out for like the PS Vita?
That was Blackgate.
Yeah, we're not going to count that. Just the 4 main games.
Yep.
And we'll be discussing that in depth, like we did with the Snyder Cut.
Yes, we'll discuss our opinion on the series for the years, how we got introduced to it, and just, what we think of all the games, each and every one of them. Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, I think that's all we got.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for tuning in to this special episode of the Comic Book Burrito Extra Beef. We will have another episode dropping of the normal podcast on Sundays on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and Mondays on YouTube. This will be dropping on Spotify and Apple Podcast on Tuesday, which is tomorrow when we're recording this.
Yes.
So, with that being said, I think I'm ready to log off.
Yeah. Oh, we all are. It's 1 in the morning.
Yes. Thank you all so much for listening. If you want to contact us for any concerns, any corrections about some information that we had, anything like that, you can reach me on Instagram at DarienH4404. That's DARIENH 4404.
And you can contact me at Spider-Landon on Instagram. That is Spider_Landon. And also you can go to our official Instagram account, the Comic Book Burrito.
Yep. And with that being said, we're gone. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Why did you say that name?